You know who isn't single and boom! No ring there, but I obviously proposed to Sophia. A bunch of signs were there, like, does this...
Are you sure?
That wasn't there, but there was one that said, can Jew believe it?
What's going on with this guy over here?
Well,
No.
I don't see any ring at the moment. It's been a blessed year, but in a very mentally challenging capacity. Like, man, it's like, where do I want to go? It's like, I know I'm gifted in many things.
We don't often think about the challenges it takes to continue to be successful. Like, that's hard. But that me time's going to be important too.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a change of scenery, but the mission is still the same. Just to have a conversation with my brothers from other mothers, Jesse and Dan. And I think like this past season in our life has been, a lot has happened for all three of us. So what we're going to do, we're just going to check in. We're going to check in and like men to men and just talk and have a great conversation, talk about a variety of topics. We didn't really prepare notes. We don't have our computers, maybe like we used to. But what we want is just authentic conversations in a safe space to talk. So, yeah.
There's no safe space for Dan.
No safe space. That's Jesse for you. It goes from very serious moment to...
No serious moments now. A lot has happened.
It has.
A lot has happened. A lot to catch up on. So we wanted to just kind of catch up and just like, share life updates.
Yeah.
Dan is pregnant.
Not exactly.
I'm kidding.
That's an insult when you're trying to lose weight and maintain your...
Yeah, what if he's
your
trying
shape?
his very best, Jesse?
Yeah.
What if he's attempting?
Guys, I really wanted to say that, like, I don't know. I really wanted to say that, like...
He premeditated that, too.
I did. I premeditated saying that. Because obviously Dan is, like, the most fit out of all of us. But I'm going to expose Dan right now. Because why not? Why not expose Dan? Dan ate chicken, okay? He's originally a pescatarian, okay? He has been just praising his pescatarian life this whole time, boasting about it. You know what Dan did? He not only ate chicken, but during my engagement, he ate a lamb chop.
Oh, wow.
You ate a lamb chop,
deep.
Dan.
You just went deep.
Bro.
How about the engagement, though? I mean, geez, I'm just going to just toss the attention back down. How about the engagement? This guy, you got engaged, buddy?
Were we invited?
Yeah.
No, you guys weren't. You guys
Yeah,
weren't.
you
guys
see
aren't
how he
that
just
important
told
to
on
me.
himself?
Yeah. Well, I am engaged. You guys want to see the ring?
Don't do that. You're crazy. He's crazy.
Boom! No ring there, but I don't have a ring. I obviously proposed to my girlfriend, who was Sophia, and now is my fiance. I almost got in trouble there. I was like, was my girlfriend. She is my fiance now. So
she's not your girlfriend.
She's not my girlfriend anymore.
Okay.
We're like legit. So
Okay.
I did get to propose. And if you guys want to see like the proposal photos and all of that, it's on my Instagram, Jewish_Jesse3. Again, I'll repeat that again, Jewish_Jesse3.
That's a very nostalgic
Yeah,
feel.
it is nostalgic.
If people actually know Jesse,
Yeah.
that was from before he was even dating.
Yeah, no, and like that moment didn't work. What we're referencing was like a time. Man, this was Jacob and Taylor's weddings. Two of my best friends that got married, and I was the best man for that wedding, and I had to do the speech and everything, and my speech was fairly iconic. If you guys want to look at it, it's somewhere on the internet. I don't know where it is. It's just somewhere
on TikTok.
It wasn't like viral, but I definitely did throw myself out there, and I said like, I'm tired of third wheeling, because I was third wheeling for like 3 years straight.
Master's degree in third wheeling.
Yes, master's degree.
PhD actually.
PhD in third wheeling. Yes,
Doctoral.
I could write a book about it. We get it. Not anymore though, because you know who isn't single and some of the other people in this room, you know, they used to be in relationships, you know, and now
Whoa.
I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Coming in with some heat.
Bro, he had animosity built up.
We've been needing this podcast for a really long time, okay? There's just a lot to catch up on.
No, it was a good time in Florida though. When
it was. Engaged. Okay, yes.
I really.
Yeah, what was your experience? Tell your POV.
I really enjoyed Jesse's thoughtful, put together, if you will, when it came to the whole entire weekend. So it was a weekend trip. He invited his friends. When you got good friends, they support you no matter what. So it was cool because Jesse had friends from all over. You had Jacob and Taylor coming from Colorado. Mm-hmm. I was in North Carolina. You know, Elijah coming from Ohio. So it was a cool experience to kind of meet up. And it was a great time. You proposed on the beach.
So I did. Let me share the fullness.
Yeah, it was cool. But it was cool. I had a really good time.
You did. You had a good time. You were here, or you were there. We're not here anymore. We're in Ohio. But it was really good. It was scavenger hunt themed. So basically, like, the whole day she would get like notes and riddles, and then she would go from one place to the next, and she'd think that I'd be there, possibly proposing then. But it was cool because it was like a bunch of significant places that we would go to, and she eventually showed up to the beach at the very end with a dress that like we found 4 or 5 months ago. And she really loved that dress. We never got it then, but 2 weeks after we looked at that dress, I actually went to go get the dress and buy it. And so I've had it for a little while. And it was good, man. It was really good. And she loved the dress. We were at the beach and I proposed to her there. And then all of her friends and everything come out. I also had one of her best friends fly out from Dallas, Texas. And that was like a surreal moment. You want to know what's crazy? I propose, okay? And there's like a decently long pause. Sure, it was like a second or 2 seconds, okay? But whenever I went down on one knee, 1 to 2 seconds is like, it's like a lifetime. Like you're down there and I had like a ton of thoughts. And I'm just like, what mistake did I make? Like, I need to do this again. Like, I messed up. Like, maybe I need to wait a few more months. Like, dude, I messed up. Like, this is bad. And she eventually says yes. It's like one of those, like, yes, you know?
It wasn't like a question, like, yes?
No. It was a full-on yes, but she was just, like, shocked at the moment. She said yes. And then, so it was like a nice moment there. We were taking pictures, and her best friend from Dallas flew in, right? It was supposed to be like a surprise of some sort. And I wanted to do something where, as the photographer was taking pictures, like she would kind of photobomb and then like run back. And then when we looked at the pictures, it would show us and then her in the back. And she's like, wait, where's she at? You know? And then she would come out of nowhere. It would be kind of cool. That didn't necessarily happen. Sophia was being a little bit snoopy in a sense. Yeah. And she like had like a sixth sense, and she felt her best friend like behind her, and she turned around and she was like, oh my God. And so she didn't cry when I proposed, but the moment she saw her friend, she cried. It's okay. So it's okay. It was okay. It's like, you know, interesting moment there. But the reason why was because it became like real for her. Like, oh my God, I just got proposed to. And her friends were talking about it for a really long time. Her friend in specific, like they would always talk about that moment and they could share that moment. So it became real to her. Then she cried. It was really good. The rest of her family, all of my friends come out to the beach. A bunch of signs were there. Like one of the signs said, does this ring make me look engaged?
Are you sure?
That wasn't there, but there was one that said, can you believe it? Can't you believe it? So
that was a good
very timely. Yes, it was good.
That was a good one.
And it was a good night overall. We ended up like hanging out the rest of the weekend, and it was such a good time. So yeah, that's it.
It's crazy how in the walk of life we thought we were ahead,
Yeah. And
But
then
so did we
it's
find
the
out
turtle, man. It's the turtle that wins the race.
that Jesse was
Tell you what.
consistent and persistent and just, no, but my experience, I know Dan spoke on his. I think it's incredible to see two people that love the Lord, that love each other, and that really like put that at the forefront of their relationship is God and each other. And it was beautiful. Like I've known her family for a while, and so seeing the authenticity and the just how awesome they are, and then seeing now Jesse's going to be part of that family, it's something beautiful to see on my end. Is I'm big on family, so I would say congratulations, Jesse.
Thank you.
You're the first. You're the first of three.
The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So
Yeah. So listen, when is the wedding? Sometime
I'm
in the
not
future.
I'm not gonna throw that out there, but it's gonna be soon.
It's coming up.
It'll be soon. We're still figuring stuff
We're
out.
very competitive, so we.
Oh, so you guys need a deadline for when to get married yourselves.
Yeah, if you give me a date, I will beat it.
Okay.
If I need
The competitive spirit.
Yeah,
right there,
no,
yeah.
but I had a great time. It was just so beautiful just to relax and to see our brother,
Mhm.
our best friend, make one of the greatest decisions of his life
Mhm.
with someone that we both know and everyone knows it's perfect for you.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so, and I mean, Jesse's been through a roller coaster in his life of relationships, and to see the consistency, but also the way he's honored God in the process.
Yeah.
It's almost like a reward. It's like, hey, God has given you His very best,
Yeah.
and you've taken care of it, and I know you will continue. So we're excited. It's a new season for us too, because now, we're
Yeah.
third and fifth wheeling.
Well, Yeah. Yeah.
Or I don't know how that dynamic works.
Yeah. I mean,
You can educate us.
it's an interesting time, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird to think like I'm engaged. Like, it still sometimes doesn't hit me that hard because, like, man, you start growing up and like you go to college and then you get a job and then like you get married and just next step is kids and like house and like that's crazy to think about how all that stuff is. So I don't know. Like, it is a pretty wild time, but it's good. Like
Yeah.
it feels good to know that I got to share those moments with you guys, with others. And it was just like a surreal moment to have like all of my friends all in one place
Yeah.
because they're all over the place. I mean, again, you were in North Carolina, you were in Ohio, Jacob and Taylor were in Colorado. Her friend was in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we had like people all over
Yeah.
the place that were coming. And so, for them to actually, Christian was in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Like, so that's another
Yeah.
state to add to
East
that.
and West Coast.
Yeah. So we had like everything, and it was a beautiful time. Like, truly, God blessed it, and I saw that. And it has been a blessing, like walking in that and just seeing like the Lord bless it. Because I will say, like, being in a relationship that the Lord blesses and like it's from God, like there's going to be so much confirmation
Yeah.
around. And I know at times we've talked about relationships and how there's moments where you're kind of like questioning it. And you're like, oh, this could be the one, maybe not. And like, I remember I was finding myself in relationships, or not necessarily relationships, because I had like one true relationship and then the other ones were like situationships. So it was like in those moments, I never had that feeling of like, yes, that's the one. I had to be in a place constantly in my mind where I was like, oh, like pushing myself to think about a future with them. I was like, oh, like I could see something. Like I like the idea of being with this person, but it wasn't ever a thing where I was like super confident. Like I was kind of forcing myself to think of a future with them. But when I met when I really started talking to Sophia and all that, and like I was in Fort Myers, I realized like, no, that's the person for me. Like I didn't think that feeling would be true until like I started talking to Sophia. So I don't know if that's like any advice or anything like that with anyone else. I'm new to this, so like I'm still trying to figure things out.
I just want
Oh yes, thank you.
to, you gotta represent.
These are friends.
Yeah.
These are friends.
When they see flaws, they point them out.
Exactly. But yeah, like don't try to force a future with someone. Don't do it. Because there's somebody that the Lord has for you. There's somebody that God has specifically for your path and what God has called you to be, and God will align that. And I think one of like the main indicators that like God has blessed that is when everybody's in agreement and everybody sees that. Like my family was in such agreement with that. They were like, yes, you guys were in agreement with it, at least I think.
I think so.
Like Jacob and Taylor, like all these other people in my life, they were so for it, and it was like kind of surprising. Like it was like, dang, everybody saw it. So there's typically agreement in that aspect. Like God will bless it if it's truly from Him. And if you're trying to force a relationship with somebody, and you're like, I think I like the idea of being with a person. Like you should kind of go back, question a little bit, like test it, see what the Lord has. Because at the end of the day, like when God places that person in your life, like you'll know it. And that's my confidence. Like maybe that's not advice for every single person, but I think for the majority of like people in life, like if you really stick to what the Lord has for you, you'll find that person and you'll know it. So that's just my 2 cents. I don't know if anybody needed relationship advice. Again, I'm new to this, so.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we touched on that a little bit in our singles episode too. So I think in that singles episode, I think this is a good transition to segue into a check-in. Remember when we did the check-in? I think that created a lot of appreciation and engagement. We should do that. I want to check in. Like,
No,
I think that'd be pretty cool.
I'm good.
Jesse, you got a pretty nice little update.
Yeah.
You guys-
What's going on with this guy over here?
Well,
No.
I don't see any ring at the moment.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think we should check in though.
Yeah.
That's it. I think anytime men check in specifically, like that's something in our friendship. It's a brotherhood.
Yeah.
That's something that we don't often do because we're so focused and driven on being the alpha male or operating in our masculinity that sometimes we forget to take a step back and tap in with our emotions and our feelings and physically, have some appreciation for that. So, like, let's check in. How you doing, man?
Man, we're gonna get real. Honestly, it's been a rough year, in many ways, and of course, this is not the first time I'm talking about this. So it's we've talked through it, but I'm saying to the listener at least, it's been a blessed year, but in a very mentally challenging capacity. And I'm going to explain. Those that know me, an entrepreneur, several businesses and just doing a lot of things. And I got to a point this year where I just had so much on my plate, like unintentionally, just kind of like some blessings just came my way. But it got to the point that, when you have too many options, you can't choose. It's like you go to a Mexican restaurant with a menu being 30 pages, and you're like, what do I choose?
Cheesecake Factory.
Or Cheesecake Factory. No, like that's literally
big menus.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
condense it.
Yeah,
and so I got to the point where it's like, man, I have too many things, and I feel like I can't make a decision.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I just was mentally exhausted, like burnt out, you can say. And I've never had to say that in my life. But I really felt this year that I have been burnt out. There's days I woke up and I didn't want to do anything. And those that know me, it's like, whoa, like Elijah, you're mentally tough, and you're a go-getter, and you have grit and perseverance. But also I'm a human. I'm also a fallen man, and that seeks the grace of God every day. But it's been such a challenge. It's one thing when you're attacked physically in your body, but it's a different thing when you're attacked mentally. And so I felt such a mental attack and questioned a lot, and sometimes like, man, do I want to continue? I just don't have the energy to do anything. And in result to that, my body has been like not 100% like they used to. You know, I'm a former athlete too, not like this stud to my left, but I played sports all my life, and even in my body, I feel like off.
Mm-hmm.
Like genuinely don't feel like to my fullest capacity, and there's been some like moments of like not like I'm scared, but in a way, yes. I'm like, man, I don't want this to progress into something worse. And so you have the combination of the mental attacks that's happening because of business and family stuff and personal things. So now my body is physically getting affected. And it's like no energy, high stress. And so I've been in this like weird season for me. And even though everything around me seems great, like if you look at it from a perspective as an outsider, Elijah, you're doing great. Your business is doing better than ever. You got a new home, which by the way, we are in our home. My first home in the U.S. for my family. So this means special place and a safe space. But in addition to all of that, internally, like I'm feeling a battle. I'm feeling like man, it's like where do I want to go? It's like I know I'm gifted in many things, and so I've literally had to reach out for help, and that's so hard to do for men because we do want to figure it out on our own. We do want to try and do this with our own strength, with our own power, with our own might. But maybe that's not the answer. Maybe the answer is to go to someone that's a friend, a mentor, an acquaintance that you trust, whoever the person is, and be like, hey, I'm struggling. So I'm noticing myself, I'm just being way more honest, and I like, even like for SSB, and just like life in general, like I want us just like to throw off the scales immediately. Mm-hmm. It's so easy to smile and wave and but deep down inside you might be hurting. And so I've been actively reaching out to like mentors, friends, doing different doctor's appointments, and just really want to figure out what is the root cause of these emotions and these mental battles that I'm having that I haven't really had to this capacity. Mm-hmm. My prayer to God, and you guys can like pitch in and ask me questions. My prayer to God is not to ever not have stress, is to know how to manage it, know how to deal with it, know how to face it face to face, and see, hey, where do I need to step back? Where do I have to step up? Where do I have to say no to? What do I have to say yes to? Yeah. So that's a little check-in.
Yeah, and dude, honestly, that's such a good point. I mean, like, I guess I'll kind of ask, and in some sense, because when we're talking about the load of things, because I myself also like a lot going on with youth, like we have our youth group as well, like the young adults, and like God's doing amazing things there, getting married at one point, at some point in life, and then like just being like the job that I'm in, being a manager as well, like there's just a lot of different stressors. So like I remember like Logan Paul, I think, was the one that was like, for people who like are really successful, like they'll learn how to manage stress, and like, if you don't know how to manage it, that means you like weren't meant to be successful. I understand that perspective, right? But like, when does it become unhealthy? Like, I know you're saying there's a lot of things going on, and again, kind of thinking about people like Mr. Beast even was like talking about how stressful things can be. And I'm just kind of thinking back, like, I know that there are ways to handle stress, but like, when does it truly become like too much,
Like in my life, or you're just saying?
Just in general. I mean, your life too. Maybe it could be in your life as well, but like.
Yeah, well, it has been too much.
Yeah, and that's what he's trying to figure out how to manage that. What I would say too, to the point of the load that you're carrying, what you were discussing is a lot of the things that you were doing for other people. And I think that can be taxing, and it's hard to manage at times. So it's about creating a healthy balance, which you have to discover for yourself, like what that looks like. And you can get as much advice from other people as you can and as you want, but at the end of the day, you have to put aside time for yourself, and that has to be intentional. So I heard somebody say this, and it kind of alludes to what you were saying, Jesse, is like, we are stressed whether we're successful or not, because life is hard. So I heard somebody say you have to choose your heart. Like, either way, it's going to be hard. If I'm broke and I have no money, that's hard. If I'm out of shape physically, it's hard. But it's also hard if I'm in shape, because I have to maintain that.
That's true.
So I think that the biggest thing is you're successful in business, you're creating and establishing healthy relationships. So I have to maintain that, and that's hard. So you have to, obviously, I'm not saying you're not embracing that, but you embrace that, but you also make sure there's a balance with that. And that takes time, because you're figuring things out as you continue to progress. And I thought it was a really good point, because like, we don't often think about the challenges it takes to continue to be successful. Like, that's hard. And successful can be whatever we choose it to be, like, for our goals and our intentions. But anything you do in life is going to be hard. So we just have to balance it out by choosing times to create times for ourselves, and then also make sure that it's not taking too much of our business lives away, or our personal relationships away. But that me time is going to be important too. Like, that's why you have to put yourself in a position where, you have time to yourself. You can do like your devotions, your journaling. We spoke upon that too. So it's good, because you're reaching out to people, and you're vulnerable enough to say, hey, this is taxing at times, it's overwhelming. But as you progress and as you figure out, as you become more experienced, I think that things will start to balance itself out as you dedicate more time to yourself intentionally. So I would just add that.
Yeah, two things. What you said about like me reaching out, you would be surprised how many people actually want to help and are willing to help. I always knew that, but it's different when you like experience and you're actually going through something where like are struggling, and then you take that step into like, going and asking for help, and like, oh yeah, absolutely. And I've had business people that run 7 figures plus companies take the time to meet with me and to chat with me and for me to be vulnerable. It's because of the relationship I built beforehand, of course, but also it's because they've probably have been there at one point or another. You can't do that while running, and if you're doing, selling ice cream outside and just yourself and, something less taxing, then okay, but if you got 30 employees under your belt and you got to make payroll, that's a different type of stress, as you mentioned.
It is.
And I think that, again, another honest and vulnerable moment is, and I'm just coming to terms with this at this season of my life, I'm afraid to be by myself. Like, it's weird.
It's big.
I don't know how to explain it. It's because, like I know the vision that God has given me. Like, I know where I want to be in life. But it's like, when I'm by myself, it's like, it's truly a scary place. And maybe that is a reason why I love community and I love to be with people, because I want to avoid that moment. And yeah, just like, I don't know, just like I'm realizing that more and more. And I know like we need to separate and have a good like time with the Lord. And I do that, but not to the extent that I need to. And so it's like what you said about creating a space and balance of having me time. Well, I'm afraid. Like I don't feel as comfortable because either I overthink, I feel like I'm wasting time, I'm not being productive. And I'm not saying those could be like lies. The point is they fill me and they consume me, and then I have to like move on to the next
Think
thing.
about this. You said this in one of our episodes. You said It was about the music. Remember we were talking about music
Mm-hmm.
in one of the episodes, and you said people are afraid of silence. Because a lot of times you go into restaurants, right, and it's music everywhere. Like anytime you go, like community-wise, where there's a lot of people, like it's music that gets the vibe going, that makes people feel a little good, right? But what it takes away is the ability to interact with people, right? To be social. Like we walk into restaurants, a lot of people are on their phones, there's music playing. Like we're not seeing too much of specific intentional conversation.
Yeah.
Right. So I look at that when you say like afraid of being alone, like that's your time to embrace and lean into self-development.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because it's similar to afraid of silence because we don't know how to be social, or we don't want to embrace the challenge at times of being social with somebody that you may not talk to on a regular basis. So I think that that's important to lean into, because being in the moment, being in silence, and then also being alone is times where you can challenge yourself to grow. And it may be uncomfortable at times. Like imagine you walk into a restaurant and you sit face to face and you don't know nobody and there's no music, right? It's quiet, right? I gotta be social, or else we're just gonna be on our phones the whole time, right? So I use that as an example because it's very similar, right? It's the challenge, but it's the challenge within yourself, by yourself, where there's no one around to, hey, like let's say a prayer, let's journal, let's figure out what I can do to continue to improve myself.